Lady Strickland considered it exceedingly vulgar for a lady to display any glimpse of her nether limbs in public, or even to make mention of them. So when she suffered a sudden fit and collapsed, she would have been quite pleased, had she been conscious, that her maid ensured she was decently covered before calling for help. When the doctor finally arrived, Lady Strickland had been dead for a good 2 hours at least. However, those who knew her felt that her features, hardened by death, differed very little from her usual rigid expression while alive, and had great difficulty believing that she was as dead as the proverbial doornail. Lady Isabelle, who had been gently informed by her cousin Arabella that her mother had had a sudden apoplexy, and there was nothing that could have been done to save her, blinked and nodded before saying, "Is she asking for me? Should I go to her?" Bella tried again to explain, stating bluntly, "Issie, your mother is dead," and then, feeling that perhaps she'd been too blunt, attempted to soften her pronouncement by saying, "She has gone to her eternal reward." She felt quite foolish spouting this platitude, as Bella didn't feel her aunt deserved any reward, and since God was said to be omniscient, he had to have known it as well. But Bella was accustomed to protecting her younger cousin from life's harsh realities, and one didn't have to be a high stickler like Lady Strickland had been to realise it was inappropriate to dance a jig on the occasion of your relation's death, no matter how awfully she might have treated you. Although Bella had no desire to celebrate, her aunt's passing seemed such an impossible thing to comprehend that she was having difficulty assimilating it, and felt no more than a shocked numbness. She could understand Issie's instinctive refusal to accept that her domineering mother, who had tyrannized Issie for the first 18 years of her life, had ceased to exist. It became easier to accept in the coming weeks after the will had been read and Issie had been named the sole beneficiary of the family estate. Bella had no expectation that her aunt would leave her anything, so was not surprised when she was proven correct, though she couldn't help feeling a trifle disappointed. However, she was not totally penniless. Her father, who had been the late Lord Strickland's younger brother, had left her a small bequest when he died, although her annual income was less than what the Strickland estate spent on candles each year. Bella did derive one financial benefit from Lady Strickland's death. While she was alive, her aunt had appropriated Bella's income, claiming it was her due for housing and feeding Bella, which she'd done for more than 16 years since Bella had come to live with the family when she was 3 years old. Now that Lady Strickland had died, the family's man of affairs was forwarding Bella's allowance directly to her. So even though Bella did not inherit 1 penny from her miserly aunt, she suddenly felt very wealthy indeed, as she had pocket money for the first time in her life. Unfortunately, she had no opportunity to spend it, as she and Issie never left the estate.